Okay, so another thing I wanted to talk to you about was the weight of the actual heaviness of the touchscreen. Now, the EO itself runs a 120 gram weight touchscreen. The Samsung runs a 700 gram weighted touchscreen. Now, what does that mean? It means that I have to put far less pressure with my finger or with a pen onto the Samsung than I do onto the EO. So how does that translate into a user experience? Dial keys. With the EO, we really do need to give a good shove in order to get dial keys happening. Now, I'm pretty strong with my thumbs and I'm also had a lot of practice. But when it comes to dial keys with the Samsung, let's just call that up. Now I haven't got the volume as turned up, but what you can hear is I'm putting much less pressure on that screen in order to get dial keys working than I am on the EO. 700 grams of weight in order to get an XY coordinate on this device, 120 grams of weight to get an XY coordinate on the EO. So definitely, if you're going to be doing a lot of typing via dial keys, Samsung is the better device. How does the weight of the screen translate to handwriting? Now, here's what's interesting. This needs more push to get an XY coordinate. Therefore, handwriting on the EO seems to be a better user experience. So when I can actually hard to see there, isn't it? Hi, my name is Hugo, it says there. Lean and write on that device, whereas if I do the same lean here, that's what I got. Hi, my name is Hugo. If you're going to be buying a tablet PC, I hope that you're going to be using the handwriting ability of that product. That's why you buy a tablet PC. If you're going to buy a UMPC, obviously the form factor appeals, but you want to consider the fact that you can ink. Do not forget that. We all talk about the size and the processor power ratio, but one thing that you do need to know is that a tablet PC operating system has an inking ability. The 700 gram weight, that is, i.e. the lighter push to get an XY coordinate happening, means that my leaning on the screen disrupts the device. And you can see there, I'm not joking. 120 gram weight, that is heavier push to get an XY coordinate on this device. Let me lean like I did. Again, it got everything. My leaning palm and my leaning pinky did not disrupt the screen because it's expecting a bigger push for that XY coordinate. The pen is providing that push. So no matter what I do with my palm, as long as I'm not being silly about it and hovering and leaning and pushing, no matter what I do with my palm, the pen will always provide more push and a more accurate XY coordinate when it comes to handwriting than the Samsung. So, if you're going to be typing via dial keys, the Samsung is for you. If you're buying a PC operating system, look for a UMPC with a heavier weighted touchscreen. At this market, handwriting, much better experience in the EO. Now, one thing that I do like about the Samsung Q1 is its speakers. The speakers themselves do pump out quite a bit of sound for such a little device. Now I've put on a movie and I've got just the speakers, both system and Windows Media Player speakers, to about half level. You can hear, I mean, they do quite well. It makes the Samsung quite a fun multimedia experience. So for taking to bed and watching a movie or streaming some media from a server or downloading your favorite podcasts and listening to them, it makes the user experience a little more fun. I mean, you can hear. I've just turned up the volume a little bit. I've gone forward a couple of chapters. And the user experience as far as audio goes and visual, the screen is doing quite a good job. It's quite good. The pen. I hate to say it, but Samsung has provided the absolute worst pen available in a portable device today. It's not only flimsy, it's thin, it's ugly, and it has no extendability and very little usability. I've got fairly large hands and the pen seems to drop away from me. It's just all that too small for what I need to do. Now, I'm not a big fan of either pen because they're fairly small pens. You can't get excited about a pen. But the EO pen is metal. It has an extension so you can open it up. It's thicker at the bottom end, which is where you want to grab, and it has a tip on it, which I don't know if it's replaceable, but it may be. Either way, the pen is better weighted, being metal. It's thicker at the bottom, and it definitely, with the extension, means that it fits in my hand a lot more comfortably. So, pen. EO, a winner. Okay, so to be fair, I thought I'd put the normal Windows XP wallpaper on the desktop. So you've got the Bliss, which is what they call that wallpaper, here on this desktop and on this desktop. And what I wanted to show you is the interpolation of pixels that can occur via UMPC software. I wanted to show you how both of these change into a 1024. One thing that I found interesting was that the EO does it much faster. So let's go for it. Click on both and call up both their menus. The Samsung one, the menu disappears very quickly, so let's see if I can get this done without much fuss. So 1024, 1024, gone. Gone. So you can see there was an obviously delay in the Samsung changing up its pixels to get into 1024. Let's change back down. And I'll actually push Samsung first. There. So I actually pushed Samsung first because the menu keeps dropping out, so I thought I'll grab that first. You can see that there's added advantage in flicking through resolution in the EO. Hands down for me, the Samsung is the multimedia player that I've been longing for. It allows me to use internet, use operating system, and work with the product. And still get a very nice audio visual experience. For me, the EO, however, for a productivity tool, is the ultimate machine in today's UMPC market. I've only been able to get my hands on these devices in the Australian market. The only two that are currently here. Samsung is not shipping in Australia, the EO is. And this is as of today. As a productivity tool, the EO, with its joystick, with its buttons for mouse clicks and up and down page scrolls, I find that it's a much better productivity tool. This has been Hugo from the Uber Tablet blog. Thanks for joining me.